Kent State women's basketball had a thriller of a game against the Miami Redhawks Saturday. We'll tell you how it ended from the Mack Center.
It was another rival game between Ohio State and Michigan, this time on the hard court. We'll break down some college hoops and more.
And out in the Bay, the NBA All-Star Game took place on Sunday with more questions rather than answers. All of this and more are coming up as Sports Corner comes your way right now. From the Franklin Hall studio on the campus of Kent State University, this is Sports Corner, alongside Maddox Miller, filling in for Liv Sharp tonight. My name is Matt Carali, and Maddox, a lot to get to today. We're going to start on the diamond.
Yes, we are, Matt. Opening day took place for the Golden Flashes down south and took 1 of 3 in Mobile, Alabama. The Kent State baseball team finished up the South Alabama Invitational over the weekend. SIUE came out in the first inning with 2 runs. However, the Flashes would respond with an RBI single from Luke Matthews and an RBI double from Hayden Jatsak. SIUE added 7 more runs by the 6th inning to jump out to a 6-run lead. The Flashes answered with a run in the 7th but could not get any more. They ended the game with a loss of 9-4. Kent State heads back down south to Macon, Georgia for a 3-game series against the Mercer Bears.
The Kent State softball team lost both of its games at the Battle at the Beach on Saturday. Kent State opened the battle with Notre Dame. The Irish hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first and followed up with single runs in the 3rd, 4th, and 6th innings. The Flashes were unable to get a run, falling to Notre Dame 5-0. Kent State followed that game with the matchup against Coastal Carolina. Kent State scored 3 runs right off the bat as 5 straight batters recorded hits. In the top of the second, Delaney Robeson recorded another RBI, giving the Flashes the lead of 4-0. However, Coastal Carolina was able to chip away at the score and eventually topple Kent State with the final of 9-4. The Flashes travel to Tampa next weekend for the South Florida Showdown.
The Kent State women's golf team finished up their 2nd tournament of their spring season today. The Flashes finished 9th in the Spartan Sun Coast Collegiate. The team recorded a 6 over par in round 3 to bring their overall to 13 over. Veronica Kedronova led Kent State with her 5th top 10 finish of the season. Her 3-round score allowed her to tie for 9th place out of the 81 individuals competing. Ohio State and Michigan State tied for first with 4 under par, with the Spartans taking the win through the tiebreaker. The Flashes return to the course on March 9th as they head to South Carolina for the Briars Creek Invitational.
On Saturday, Amron Chilton set the program record for the 60-meter dash here at Kent State. Chilton's time of 7.44 seconds broke the previous record of 7.46. That's right, 0.02 of a second that was set by Katie Reiser back in 2013. Chilton also ran the opening leg of the 4x4 meter relay for a winning time of 3 minutes and 46.61 seconds. Yesis Cordiho Dominic also recorded a personal record during the 60-meter dash with a time of 7.48 seconds, which puts her in 4th in terms of the university's record book. Kent State will compete at the AU Last Chance this Saturday before the conference championship. All right, women's basketball Saturday, Miami and Kent State. That is Maya Chandler with the floater. Maya Babbitt will step it back and nail it for 3 to put her team up 20-17. Under 4 minutes in the half, Flashes up 4. Emily Bratton, after some good ball movement here from the Redhawks, she will drive on Deanna Gray. A nice fadeaway bounces in. And then a minute later, Kent State with it now. Jenna Batch feeding it down low to Janae Tyler for the and 1. She'll make the free throw. And offense continuing to roll for Kent State. Jenna Batch with the shot clock winding down, puts it in the second half now. Good ball movement will come here from Kent State as Deanna Gray at the top of the key will get it out to that looks to be Bridget Dunn, goes down low, Batch to Tyler, layup good. And now in the fourth quarter, 8.2 left, 63-59 Miami. Maya Babbitt will launch it from 3, and she nails it. An unreal 3, a 1-point game. However, Miami would survive 64-63.
The Kent State men's basketball team took down Ohio University on Friday night. They barely beat out OU with a score of 76-75 for their 4th straight victory. The Bobcats opened the game by shooting over 90%, but Kent State followed up with a 9-4 run. Sion Medley and Von Cameron Davis led the charge at the end of the half with a 17-6 run. The Flashes went into the break with a lead of 44-40. The rest of the game was a back and forth, totaling 19 lead changes. And with 5 seconds left, the Bobcats hit a 3-pointer, but a pair of Jalen Sullinger free throws allowed the Flashes to edge OU out for the win. The top 2 ranked teams in the SEC, Auburn and Alabama, battled it out yesterday. We tell you who took home the crown in Tuscaloosa.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
We know you work hard, so come spend your lunch with us at the Bistro on Main. Make your breaks count at the Bistro on Main, where friends become family.
Go.
Do you feel good about that?
No, I'm looking at it right.
And yellow today, feel free to use orange, feel free to use green, feel free whatever you want to do. These are what I have in my refrigerator.
Students, especially those that are in CCI fondly enough, are going to be visiting there quite often. But does their reward program
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine, and I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet, and this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero.
Good job, Kitty Cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, look who joined us for the College Hoops blog. Hello, Gage Wellman. Nice to see you. Well, in college basketball, a loaded weekend. So let's waste no time. Dive right in as we go campus to campus. Starting with Kansas and Utah, let's look at Gabe Masden. You'll hear his name a lot. And by a lot, I mean right now. There's a 3 from Masden. And then later in the half with Utah up 2, Kansas now with it, trying to get something going. And Hunter Dickinson will lob it to Flory Badunka as he puts it in. Up to Utah at the break, second half now. Rylan Griffin nails it from distance to give Kansas the lead. A minute later, Masden doing it on defense. The steal and the slam, 47-42. Kansas trying to answer. They're down by 11. Looking for something. Hunter Dickinson with the left-handed lay. Tie game at 60. Kansas comes back, but Ezra Arsar has something to say about that. He floats it in. And then Masden, with 2 minutes to go, pumps. And with that 3, he'll ice it and also set the Utah record for most threes by a Ute. 288 in his college career. He had 24 on the afternoon. 74-67 Utah in an upset. The Utes never trailed in this game and get their first quad 1 win of the year.
Well, that sure was a great game, Matt, but I fear I've got the best one because it's the first time 2 SEC teams off. 1 versus 2. Auburn versus Alabama. Player of the Year candidate Johnny Broome, he's going to attack from the right wing, but he can attack from everywhere. Tough fade away. Then it's going to be Mark Sears. He's going to try to take a 3-pointer here, but it's no good. Clank. But tied rebound back. Kick out to Aiden Holloway. His 3-pointer, splash. And the crowd in Tuscaloosa is getting rowdy. But Denver Jones, he's going to say, shh, I don't like the sound of that. With a tough and 1 bucket. He had 16 on the night as he goes from defender to defender. Then it's Johnny Broome again going up for the block. Is this an Auburn highlight? No, because the Tide are gonna once again rebound, and then it's Gavin Nelson, boom, with an absolute marvelous slam there. Then it's Tahad Pettifor with a Tony Parker-like teardrop floater. That was absolute symphony on the basketball court. Auburn, they're gonna try to close this one out. Moving the ball, they're gonna kick it out to the left wing. I wonder where this one's going. The man of the game. Bang, game over. Auburn takes this one, 94, Bama 85, in a game where 6 Tigers got over double digits. But my friend Maddox is taking us to Texas.
Yeah, we're going to stay in the SEC as unranked Texas would take on the number 16 Kentucky Wildcats. Texas looking for a big upset, just 15-10 on the season, but that would start to look unlikely as Otega Owe would slam it in for Kentucky. Next up, Trent Noah from deep. We're going to hear his name a couple more times. We head to the second period, 4-point game. Kentucky trying to pull away. It'd be Ansley Almanor with the 3, but the Longhorns not going to go away quietly as Trey Johnson hits the and 1. And then Texas continuing to fight, just bucket after bucket, 1-point game, and it would be a slam from, man, I cannot find his name. But anyways, Texas staying in it in the second period. Kentucky, beautiful floater from Owe, and it would be Owe once more, a little cookies and a little milk on the slam, 67-63. But the Longhorns taking a 4-point lead, fade away, gets it to go, 76-70 from number 20 on the Longhorns. I believe that's Trey Johnson. It would be Noah finding the 3 again. Texas, though, would just play a little pass, go, as it would be a slam, an exclamation point on a big upset by the Longhorns. Texas takes this one at home.
Well, it's the game on the hardwood. Michigan and Ohio State tie game at 10. Wolverines trying to push it as Danny Wolf will get it down low, working on Bruce Thornton. But how about Vladislav Golden for the slam? Check this out again. These two big men, the best front court in the country in Michigan, proving to be a difference maker early. And then, later in the first, Devin Royal has a wide open look at the top of the key. He knocks it down, and Ohio State now on top by 5. Time winding down in the first half. Trey Donaldson, no. However, Golden pulls it down, puts it back in, and that will give Michigan a 44-39 lead at the break in Columbus. Second half we go. Ohio State looking to even the score or even take the lead. But John Mobley Jr. has a seam and lays it in with the left hand. Then, a few minutes later, Michigan trying to go inside, and Golden throws it down to give the Wolverines the lead back in enemy territory. Over 2 to go. Bruce Thornton, the face of the program, floats it in to tie the game at 80. But in the final minute of play, Michigan on offense. Wolf, no. Golden grabs it and puts it back up and in, but Ohio State still has a chance. And in the final seconds, Thornton drives. Nice move. A little shots that he was wide open, and he airballs the floater, and it's over. 37 combined points for the Michigan big men. Wolverines take it 86-83.
You know, Matt, Columbus is a great place to catch a college basketball game, but there's nothing quite like Cameron Indoor Stadium in North Carolina. Malik Brown, he's going to find Tyrese Proctor cutting, lay up. Then it's going to be Maxime Reynaud. He's going to pump fake. Nope, that's not Kevin Love out there. He's looking like Sean Kemp, if you don't mind me. And he's going to dribble up the ball here, dribbling up the court as you see some Stanford fans, but he's picked off by no one else. Cooper Flagg up to the point guard, and showtime! Cooper Flagg shows why he was the top player of the 2024 class. Then it's Flagg again on a pick and pop. Let's find Kaman Malak. Slam. Duke was just throwing down dunks. You can call him Dunk University. Tyrese Proctor, bang. Absolute double, just amazing shot there. Tyrese Proctor, again, Kaman Malak. Alley-oop. Just an absolute field day for the Duke Blue Devils. They just did whatever they wanted to the Stanford Cardinal. Again, Kaman Malak finding Cooper Flagg. Back to Malak. It was a similar type of situation, looking like the Lob City Clippers of old. I think I just saw Cookie Monster in the crowd there, as Duke would take it 106, Stanford 70.
And we have another ranked SEC matchup as number 3 Florida took on South Carolina. The Gators looking to defend home turf. It would be the Gators getting off to a decent start, up 10-6 as Ruben Chinyelu slams it in. The big man, number 9, looking to put the Gators up on top, but the Gamecocks not going away quietly, trying to stay in it. 21-18 here in the first. It would be a nice drive by Colin Murray Boyles, who would slam it in for the Gamecocks. 23-18. We stay in the first. Most likely the next possession here is Walter Clayton looking for anyone to pass it to, yet not a lot of movement going on, so he says, okay, I'll pull it, and banks it from the logo. Sorry. It would be South Carolina with the ball once more as Nick Pringle finds a dunk in the paint. 27-24. South Carolina hanging around, but the Gators would try to pull away. It would be Zachary Davis with the pickoff and with a slam of his own to make it a 9-point game. We're getting later in the second, and it's getting late for the Gamecocks as Will Richard slams it in. It would be another Chinyelu dunk as the Gators ran away with this one here late in the second period. We would get another Chinyelu dunk for the Gators. He would finish with 20 plus. Florida takes this one 101-63.
All right, well, let's bring it back to the desk with Gage. And, you know, sir, that was a lot. That was a lot of college basketball.
That reminded me of, and dare I say it, near college football level of excitement.
Yeah.
Almost. It was
Absolutely.
almost just like that, but I really loved it.
So out of that jam-packed weekend, your biggest storyline?
I mean, it's got to be the Auburn Tigers just going into Tuscaloosa and taking care of business. I mean, what more do you want? You got Janai Broom, you got Kelly, you got just some amazing shooters all around. And when you have the most hyped game in the history of the Southeastern Conference of basketball, you can have all these mental emotions and think, what am I going to do? But they took care of business. The final score was pretty close, but overall I really liked how Auburn certified themselves as the top dog in the SEC. We'll talk if they are, because I really love that Florida team. Let's put that down the road. I didn't really like how Michigan kind of toyed around with Ohio State. I mean, you got Vitaly Golden there, and with Ohio State, it's quite of an undersized team, if we're really being honest. You've got Royal, you've got Thornton, but there's no true big man on the Buckeyes. So why is there a team in Michigan who just upset Purdue in the following week, really playing around with a rival who, I'm a native of Ohio, but let's be honest here, fellas, the Ohio State Buckeyes are not what they are on the football team on the basketball court.
Right. No.
I also really love watching, and I'll get more into this with my top tier teams. St. John's taking down Creighton, but let me pass the ball to you, Maddox.
No, absolutely. And a lot of these highlights were ranked teams, some ranked versus ranked. March Madness ever approaches. Definitely. Who would you say is kind of the cream of the crop? Who do you see getting those 1 and 2 seeds heading into the big tournament?
Well, this is pretty tough, but the conversation's going to have to begin with the SEC.
Yes.
Of the top 16 seeds right now that were revealed this weekend, 6 were from the SEC.
Wow.
Auburn, Bama, Florida, TAMU, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Those are kind of tricky. I've seen bits and pieces of Texas A&M. They're a strong defensive team, but I'm worried if they have the offense to keep up with Florida, to keep up with Auburn. Bama, we just saw them kind of get outpaced and out-physicaled, out-mentally physical, if that's really a word I can use.
I don't know. Yeah.
Mentally stronger was Auburn. Kentucky, they're kind of good, but they just lost to Texas after beating Tennessee. There's other teams other than Auburn and Florida that are kind of like, I could get rid of you. I could deal without you. One team I don't want to deal without is the Duke Blue Devils. I mean, take your pick. I mean, Tyrese Proctor, Cooper Flagg, Malak, just these guys are athletic. They are uber talented. Just with every Duke team, I'm worried, do they have it?
Yeah.
And to put a bow on it, St. John's, I also really love how they're doing.
Yeah. All right, it'll be fun to watch. Thanks, Gage. We
no
appreciate
problem.
it. Well, the NBA All-Star Game featured 2 star-studded teams last night with LeBron James not participating. Does his absence impact the matchup, though? We'll give you all the details.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
I got you. Oh, yeah, I got him.
That stupid controller froze again.
You're only saying that because you're losing.
Bet you bought the cheap one.
My controller is junk too. Is this even real?
You're spending less, so...
Yeah? We'll just buy it again?
Smart kids.
Who are you?
Or what are you?
Hey, I was wondering if you guys wanted any... OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff, the crime dog. He's an imposter. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. And that, Pops...
Could blow up in your face!
That's right, Scruff. Let's take a bite out of crime together and protect ourselves against fakes. Like him.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing an arm.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
Good evening, Portage County. My name is Stone O'Brien. There were some games before the All-Star break, and I'm here to break it down for you. First up, we've got Ben Simmons making his Clippers debut as the Clippers travel to visit the Jazz. First quarter, Norman Powell, he's a name we're going to hear throughout the night. That's a three-pointer. Second quarter, Jazz up by 14. Isaiah Collier extends the lead even more to 17. The Jazz will get it up to 20 points. But the Lakers will not go away. James Harden, he's fighting tough with the layup, bites to the contact. He hits for 35. The Jazz have trimmed it even more. The Lakers have trimmed it. Clippers have trimmed it even more. And Norman Powell again continue to trip that lead. It's down to 10. Here's Lauri Markkanen. He gives the Jazz a little more cushion with a three. He finished with 20. Ben Simmons getting involved in the action. He finished with 12. The lead cut down to 5. And now it's down to 1. James Harden, the turnover. He's going to drive it coast to coast. Take the layup. He's going to miss it. Norman Powell again. And the Clippers have the lead. They come back from all the way down 20. Final shot of regulation. Keontae George. He's going to not get a shot off. And we are headed to overtime. Slava Mihalik. He's going to get the steal. He's going to direct traffic. He's going to drive, fight through the defenders. And he's going to take it coast to coast for the ferocious slam. And now, Norman Powell, what can I say? He is inevitable in this game. He finished with 41 with that, and the Clippers take it 120 to 116.
All right, staying in the West, Thursday night, Thunder and Timberwolves from the land of 1,000 lakes. Picked this up late first quarter. You know who my favorite superhero is, right, guys? It's Ant-Man! Ho-ho! The poster on Chet Holmgren, just doing Anthony Edwards' thing. Second quarter, Timberwolves up 16. Jalen Williams is J-Dub, they call him down there in OKC with the contested lay. Thunder cut it to 10, and Naz Reid working inside on Holmgren. Baby hook over 2 defenders along with Hartenstein. He puts it in less than a minute in the half. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander knocks it in. It's a 6-point game. Final seconds of the second. Terrence Shannon Jr. inside, puts up the acrobatic shot at the buzzer, and the Timberwolves are up 8 at the break. And then in the second half, Shea with the tough turnaround layup and the foul. He'll make his free throw. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a name we haven't said yet in this season of Sportscorner. He knocks it down to put the Timberwolves up 9. And then how about Naz Reid? Yep, that's his nickname. 27 points for Naz. And then Anthony Edwards again. Instead of doing it in the paint, he'll do it from distance. 116 to 101. The Timberwolves with an upset win over the Thunder on their final game before the All-Star break.
Lastly, we head down to the Bayou where the Pelicans were taking on the Sacramento Kings. Zach LaVine, a newly acquired King, looking to get acclimated with his new team. But it would be Domantas Sabonis, the all-star snub, getting the slam in the first quarter. New Orleans, though, hanging around as Javonte Green with the steal and the slam. 60-55 as we head to the late second. Zach LaVine with a tough layup, but New Orleans would hang around as we head into the third 2-point game. CJ McCollum for 3, gets it, 78-77. Pelicans take the lead. Zion Williamson wishing he was on the court, celebrating CJ's 3. It would be Zach LaVine, though, who would finish with 32 and 10, getting the tough layup. Final seconds of regulation. McCollum floater, no. We head to overtime, but McCollum would make it up with a 3 as he would go on to finish with 43 on the night. He would look to finish it off right here with this tough layup. Pelicans take this one 140-33.
All right, let's now take it to All-Star Weekend and the celebrity game. Hello, Drewski. Good to see you again. I feel like I never see you. That was a little sarcasm there. I'm sorry. All right, first quarter. How about Kayla Thornton of the Golden State Valkyries? The forward hits the floater, and then Rakia Jackson of the LA Sparks lays it up and in. How about Emmy winner, also Rome Flynn? No-look pass to Tucker Halpern. Halpern played college ball at Brown before getting into music, putting him in this celebrity game. So he's got a little basketball experience. Shelby McEwen, the silver medalist high jumper, going upstairs, take another look, throwing it down with two hands. And then later, a familiar name in the Bay. Big baby Baron Davis says cry about it with that three. And then later on, this is Flynn on the offensive end, laying it up and in. And then Flynn doing it again, step back Jay, yeah. And then it was only a matter of time before Drewski would get into the scoring column. There it is. And look at his reaction. He just looked like he won the finals on that shot. Unbelievable. And then McEwen on the steal, and McEwen with the windmill! Ho-ho! Get up, young man. But Team Barry Bonds takes it over Team Jerry Rice by the final of 66-55.
You know, he's like Puxatawny Phil. He only comes out once a season, but he's bringing it here this time. And this time it's Mac McClung, back-to-back slam dunk champion. Here's his first dunk of the night over the Kia. He goes crazy. Everyone's crazy. Spike Lee smiling, and this dunk straight out of a Spike Lee joint. What a dunk. The windmill over the back is everything. Now we've got a special guest, Evan Mobley, and Mac McClung again. And this time we got to watch it. Grabs the ball, punches the rim, and then comes back and just slams it in. And this time, another beautiful dunk. And the judges, they all like it. It's 50s across the board. It was a perfect night for Mac McClung. Giannis appreciating the beauty. It's a three-peat for him. He beat out Stephon Castle in the final round to win his third straight dunk contest.
Event of All-Star Weekend, it would be the championship game of this new All-Star format. It would be Shaq's OGs taking on Chuck's Global Stars. Steph Curry, the hometown hero, with a running three. Mind you, this game goes to 40 for the winner. It would be Curry's night. Launching it, that'd be Tatum, sorry, Jason Tatum launching it from three, a quick 11-0 lead for Shaquille O'Neal's team. Wemby, though, seemingly the one guy who tried driving to the lane and slamming it in, trying to get his team back in it, but Curry would have none of that as he'd just launch it from the logo, and Steph Curry doing Steph Curry things would hit a massive three, 26-15. This game would get a lot of mixed reviews based on the performance, but Steph Curry was shooting lights out as he would make it 36-21. James Harden finding, you know it, Steph Curry 4-3, turn away, knocking it down 39-21. And for the last possession of the game, Alperen Sengun just lets Jason Tatum walk by him and slam it down. You can see Wemby visibly frustrated, 41-25 as Shaq's OGs take the first ever four-team All-Star bracket. It would be Steph Curry winning All-Star Game MVP in Golden State Warriors Arena. Big night for him and an interesting night for the All-Star Game.
Well, that was a lot too. In terms of the All-Star Game, there's 3 different games, 4 different teams. Stone, your thoughts on the new format?
So, we're going to start with the overall All-Star Weekend. The Celeb Game is fun, always fun, action. The Skills Challenge for the All-Star festivity Saturday night, you know what? I was kind of a fan of Chris Paul and Wemby's stunt. They should not have been disqualified. I think
now change the rules.
It's boring.
Yeah.
I mean, the Skills Challenge is boring anyways. Let them have the fun. 3-point contest, meh, I'm in. But the dunk contest, it always delivers. Mac McClung, and he's even getting some NBA players in there. Now for the All-Star Game itself, I think it still needs a little bit of fixing. There was way too many commercials and fillers. Although I will admit, the Inside the NBA tribute was nice, even though the show isn't technically going away. The basketball part, I mean, it had its highs and lows, I think. Wemby, playing with the defense, just giving all his effort. He was visibly upset when Sengun just let it go by. And there was another play, the one that clinched for Chuck's Global Stars, kind of just let him go by and get the winning dunk. That was another low. But Kirby and them, they were having fun. The champ game, you don't want it to be a blowout. I just think you need a little bit more action into it, and I think that you can definitely tweak it next year to have it. I would say halftime maybe 40 points, and then go play another half to 40. Have a target score be 80. I've heard Giannis pitched U.S. versus World. It wouldn't be exactly like the Four Nations tournament, I don't think, because you can't get Serbia to have the team. It's just the way it's going with like NHL players only. But I think it would be good in anything that gets them to play it. I think if players continue to not have effort or lackadaisical, I think Adam Silver needs to just step in and say, like the MLB, there's a tied All-Star game once. Bud Selig said, never again. If you win the All-Star game, you get home field advantage in the World Series. Give him home court to the winner of the All-Star game. Could be a good idea. And Draymond, he was a little too harsh on the Rising Stars.
100%.
I think
100%.
You know what? It was in there for a reason. Just don't embarrass yourself if you're Shaq's OGs. And they kind of embarrassed themselves trying to close the game out. But you know what? They locked in, got the job done. It was entertaining overall.
So what do you think about the second half of the NBA season? What are your thoughts? Some teams that you think might take it and honestly may take the whole thing when it's all said and done this summer?
So the Cavs and Thunder right now, the two teams to beat. But you know what? I think the Mavericks could make a run. Max Christie, he had 19 points. And that was without AD. That was without Kyrie. That was without Clay. They may not make it far. They could get to like the conference final maybe. Maybe they pull a Cinderella run.
Whoa, okay. So you think that the Dallas Mavericks, who just traded Luka Doncic,
80's out for like a month.
That program is in disarray, right? They're
all
going to
you
make
gotta
the Western
do
Conference
is get to the play-in.
That's all they have to do is
Get to the
play-in.
play-in,
So,
and just win ball games.
do you think that with teams like the Thunder and the Lakers in themselves, you think that they will somehow, and the Nuggets, you're absolutely right, you think they're going to somehow
You know what?
squeak
Nico
by?
Harrison said defense wins championships. And I think it's up to the Mavericks to put up or shut up. You got to really live it. Otherwise, the Luka trade just gets even worse, in my opinion.
If they make the Western Conference Finals, they should make a movie, a full feature film about the 2025 Dallas Mavericks. That is one of the most bold takes I've been here for 4 years, folks. 4. Since the fall of 2021. I'm unk compared to everybody in here. That is the boldest thing I've heard on this show.
Sometimes you got to be bold.
Sometimes you got to be bold. Max Christie legacy run.
Max Christie.
Max Christie legacy.
I don't know how it happened. I don't know how the pieces come together. But
15 plus every game.
So I guess like, you think Kyrie is going to be like, because this was a thing in Cleveland.
You have to go crazy.
This was a thing in Cleveland that he had. Real quick, we got to wrap it up here soon. So now that you think, is it more of like a Kyrie thing because now it's his team and that he can will him back? Because that was a thing in Cleveland.
I think it's just a collective effort. I mean, the defense will be there. AD, he's still a very good player overall. It's just not like they traded Luka, and that's a big loss. I don't think they should have ever done that.
Of course.
And you know what? They're just going to have to play. Let the results speak for itself.
Let the results speak for it. Let the results
believe. Thanks, Stone. Appreciate it. All right, well, everyone loves some extra spending cash in the pocket. Blake's Best Bets looks to add to the bankroll next on Sports Corner.
So much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall. Writing on the wall. And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first to change a life.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
I got you. Oh, yeah, I got him.
That stupid controller froze again.
You're only saying that because you're losing.
Bet you bought the cheap one.
My controller is junk too. Is this even real?
You're spending less, so...
Yeah? Well, just Buy it again?
Smart kids.
Who are you?
Or what are you?
Hey, I was wondering if you guys want any. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's an imposter. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. And that, Pops...
Could blow up in your face.
That's right, Scruff. Let's take a bite out of crime together and protect ourselves against fakes. Like him.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing an arm.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
Welcome back. We welcome in Michael Neenan to talk about this new Four Nations face-off. The NHL has replaced their All-Star game with this round-robin style tournament. It includes NHL players representing 4 countries with all playing for national glory. So let's get to some of the games. Starting off, U.S. versus Finland. It would be a tough matchup for the Finnish, but we'll get to that later. They actually start off with a 1-0 lead, but it wouldn't last for long, as in the first period it would be Brady Tkachuk scoring the goal near the net, just kind of rattling around the puck there as it crosses the line. 1-1 for the U.S. It would be late in the second period, though, where Brock Faber from near the blue line, but wait, it would be stolen by Matt Boldice with a tip-in. 2-1 U.S. Early third period, USA on the power play. Matthew Tkachuk not to be outdone by his brother from deep with a rocket into the back of the net. 3-1 U.S. It would be an offensive showcase for the States, as it would be Jake Getzel finding the net on this one. Third period, 4-1 U.S. just laying it on Team Finland, looking to make a great opening statement. And it would be another Brady Tkachuk goal, this one from tight and close near the net. The goalie, Uz Soros, had no chance. I butchered that name. But the U.S. would come out on top 6-1 to open their play for the Four Nations.
Well, why don't we talk about 2 extremely cold countries, Canada versus Sweden. Look at this line. Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon. That is a line that exists playing professional hockey. Canada goes up 1-0. Braden Point to Brad Marchand. Put Canada up 2-0. The Bruin and the Lightning teaming up, put the Canada up into the second period. Victor Hedman to Jonas Brodin as Sweden finally gets on the board, though they're still down 1 goal. But Canada, Sidney Crosby to Mark Stone. Sidney Crosby had 2 assists on the night for 2 points overall. As Sweden down 3-1, they try to make a comeback here. Adrian Kempe scores in the third period, 2 minutes in, and trying to get a tie game. Lucas Raymond, Jesper Bratt, Joel Eriksson Ek, he ties things up. This game would end up going into overtime. And Canada, it's Mitch Marner. Look, he's going, he's got it. He goes right by, and he gets the goal. Canada wins 4-3. Now, Team Canada, they would have to face a healthy U.S. team, and I really wonder what they did. Matt, take it away, please.
Well, we're about to show you. Here we go, the big one between the Canadians and Americans, and right off the jump, we're fighting. Brandon Hagel facing off against Matthew Tkachuk, literally right as the puck dropped, and then after, Sam Bennett fighting Brady Tkachuk, the Tkachuk brothers getting after it early, and then after the first shot on goal, JT Miller trading blows with Colton Pureco. 3 fights less than 10 seconds in. This is hatred. Then later in the first, Connor McDavid, the best player in hockey right now, blows by the defense and puts it in the top shelf. 1-0 Canada. Later, the Americans will respond as Jake Gensel puts it in to tie the game at 1. That will be your score through the first 20 minutes. In the second period, Bennett with a look, but it's saved by Connor Hillebike as that one went off of his right pad on the arm. Later in the period, USA forces a turnover, and here comes Dylan Larkin with the goal, and USA has the lead for the first time. It's 2-1 in the game. Third period, same score. Canada with an empty net. Larkin to Gensel, and that is how the damn Americans do it. 3-1 is the final. They will face Canada in the title game Thursday night. What a show that was on Saturday. So, Michael, thoughts on this new format of a Four Nations face-off replacing the NHL All-Star Weekend festivities?
You know, I'm going to be completely honest here. I was not a fan at first. I mean, I thought getting rid of the All-Star game, that's like getting rid of a tradition, right? The All-Star game has existed for a very long time, but for the first time, I think, as a fan, I actually enjoyed NHL All-Star Weekend more than I did the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Wow.
Somehow, some way, the NHL, they got their best players to actually want to play an All-Star Weekend. I mean, all you had to do was put them on teams and representing their country, and that's all it took. And especially that USA-Canada game, ooh, that is hockey right there.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what do you guys think about it?
I think it's great. I think it, dare I say, we always talk about how the MLB All-Star game is the best in sports. I think this takes it. I think this takes all of it because of the fact that, like you mentioned before, it's about representation for country. And there's just something that means more, especially in this sport, that has a rich Olympic history to it, that when you put on the colors of your country, of your nation, that there's a little bit of extra oomph in it. So that definitely showed in the passion over the course of those round-robin games. It's definitely going to show Thursday night in that championship game with USA and Canada, and it'll be, frankly, can't miss television.
No, I think it's amazing because I think you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the competition and the kind of fantasy lineups where you're getting McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, and it's like, wow, these guys never play together. But you're also getting this national competition, and it's just bringing out the best of everything. It's everything that hockey could ask for, and it's bringing new eyes, I think, on the sport where you're like, holy crap, these guys really hate each other.
Oh, man. I mean, Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, and Connor McDavid
That's
on
like
a
the dream
line
team.
together.
No, it's amazing.
That's the dream team.
Yeah, like what?
Yes.
I mean, it's hard to process that kind of thing. I need to see that in the Olympics, and we will in 2026, thankfully. I will be there no matter what.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts, kind of taking a fast-forward look to Thursday, your thoughts on the game?
You know, I'm going to make a prediction right now. I think that Team USA, they're going to go on to win 3-2. That's what I think.
3-2.
I'd have to agree. I think the U.S. they're so strong, and it's just obviously revenge is a heck of a motivator, but I think the U.S. they're going to want it. I don't want to say more because I don't want to doubt the Canadians' motivation, but man, they look so good throughout all the play, and they play Sweden tonight.
Yep. I mean, look, you talked about it off air. This is the best Team USA of all time.
Yeah.
On that. With that being said, I will say I am a believer of the philosophy that it is very hard to beat the same team twice.
Yes.
And with the way that Canada just has those guys that we mentioned earlier, I'd be shocked, especially in the fact that they're playing in their home country, that they would manage to lose that championship game. You talk about revenge being a motivator. You're absolutely right. But I think there's just something there with that Canadian team where they're going to look at the tape, they're going to kind of throw that game away against the Americans out of the window and be like, all right, we just need to lock in and take care of business.
Yeah.
We have probably the best line ever put on ice in Crosby, McKinnon, and McDavid. And then I feel like they're just going to go out and take care of business. As an American, I hope I'm wrong because we are in the United States.
Yes.
But I do believe that Canada will take it in the rematch.
And something to look out for is definitely that Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon line against Connor Hellebuyck. I mean, to me, that's going to be what determines it because I trust Connor Hellebuyck a lot more than I trust Jordan Binnington. But obviously, with that much star power, maybe the guy in net doesn't really matter too much. Great offense usually is going to be great defense. That's just how I look at it.
I mean, did you care, real quick before we let you go, did you care at all about the NHL All-Star Weekend before this or in the past or not really?
You know, I'm going to be completely honest. Not really. I think the format was interesting, but especially considering the fact that every single team got an all-star, it didn't really feel earned for a lot of players. Obviously, some dudes were deserving, but it just felt like bad teams would get an all-star just because they had to represent their team, and so they would just have to pick one guy, and I kind of felt that wasn't the way to go about it. I feel like the NBA All-Star Game, for any flaw it may have, at least they get it right. The All-Star selection itself does matter. It is a big deal to a player's resume. And so overall, I mean, the NHL All-Star Game just didn't feel like it mattered all that much.
It's interesting. Well, we can't wait for Thursday. Thanks, Mike. Well, let's now make some money, shall we? Our own Blake Aloja is here to talk about what to bet on for the Four Nations face-off and where to put your dollars on the American League Central this spring. Blake?
Thanks, Matt. With spring creeping near, the combination of basketball, hockey, and the start of baseball has left a plethora of betting options to choose from. Let's break it all down right now on Blake's Best Bets. So we are 2 for 2 on Best Bets this year, with Walker Kessler securing 12 rebounds last week, surpassing his 11.5 line. We have now won in the NFL and NBA. How about we add the NCAA to the resume? Tonight, number 19 ranked Arizona visits Waco to take on the Baylor Bears in a Big 12 showdown. Arizona is looking to snap a 2-game losing streak as they lost to number 5 Houston 62-58 last game, and that was a big reason because of their three-point shooting. In their last 2 losses to Kansas State and Houston, they are shooting a bare low 15% from the long ball. Even head coach Tommy Lloyd said, "This is not the 2017 Golden State Warriors. We're a gritty team and it's a little bit ugly sometimes, but we figure it out." On the other side, Baylor's coming off a 74-71 overtime win against West Virginia, but they've lost key pieces on the inside, which could prove costly against a scrappy Arizona team. Forward Giannis Nganja has been out the whole season with a knee injury, and now center Josh Ojanua is added to that list as he suffered a season-ending knee injury against UCF last week. Now this leaves only Norcad Omir in the Baylor front court. This has led to a direct effect as the last 2 games without the big men, Baylor opponents are 55% on 2-point field goals. For comparison, Baylor's 2-point defense was at 50% in Big 12 play before this injury. That's why I'm taking the Arizona Wildcats to upset Baylor on their home court tonight. With the injuries inside, Arizona won't have to worry about their long ball woes. Coach Lloyd can rotate 4 different pieces against Omir, and 7-footer Henry Visar looks primed for a huge game. The Wildcats are currently sitting at plus 110 on DraftKings. Odds are subject to change. Tip is set for 10 p.m., so grab some caffeine and let's have a night. Now going over to the Four Nations battle. The guys teed it up perfectly at the desk as they broke down how this series has played out, and it's been nothing short of electric, and the finale has been set up perfectly. Team USA gets to welcome Team Canada into the States on Thursday, and this pick may be partially patriotically influenced, but I'm taking Team USA to defend their home ice. So we are going to look at why Team USA can win it right here. They are one of the most well-rounded teams, as they talked about on the desk, ever. The Tkachuk brothers have showed that they can be enforcers, and they scored very well against Finland early on in the season. Connor Hillebæk has been dominant between the pipes. With Winnipeg this year, his 2.07 goal against average is first in the NHL, and his 92.5 save percentage is second in the league. Canada has a dangerous forward line. We talked about Crosby, McDavid, and McKinnon, but we showed that we could go up to Canada in front of their prime minister, and they got embarrassed, frankly. And I bet they're going to do it again. They're not going to come down to USA and get close. I mean, it was 3-1. Michael said that he thinks it's going to be closer 3-2. I agree. This is going to be a very fun game, but I'm taking Team USA money line. It's currently set at minus 115 on DraftKings. You will not want to miss this one, as Puck Drops is set for 8 p.m. Thursday on ESPN. And finally, with spring training kicking off in Florida and Arizona, let's take a look at how odds makers believe the AL Central will shake out. Twins lead the way at plus 210, followed by Kansas City and Detroit tied right now, with Cleveland and the White Sox rounding out the bottom at a whopping plus $25,000. So maybe just throw a dollar on the White Sox. Could have a miracle season and maybe win some money. Probably not. Don't do that. The Guards have fallen fourth in the projections due to question marks on the starting rotations and the departures of guys like Naylor and Andres Jimenez. Odds are, of course, courtesy of DraftKings and subject to change. Well, that's a wrap on this week's Blake's Best Bets. Stay sharp, play smart, and may the odds be ever in your favor. I'm Blake Aloja. Catch you next time. Same place, bigger wins. Back to Matt at the desk.
All right, Blake, well, thank you. Coming up is our segments portion of the show. We also bring you a fun new game you won't want to miss.
Go.
You feel good about that?
No. I'm looking at it right.
And yellow today, feel free to use orange, feel free to use green, feel free whatever you want to do. These are what I have in my refrigerator.
Students, especially those that are in CCI fondly enough, are going to be visiting there quite often. But does their reward program
What to expect when you're expecting
Like here.
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back. An American institution took place over the weekend as cars took to the starting line for the biggest event in auto racing. Yesterday, NASCAR driver William Byron won his second straight Daytona 500. The rain delayed the race by 3 hours, but were cleared after the rain had finished. In the final lap, a crash wiped out many of the other contenders, allowing Byron to pull ahead from 9th to 1st. Byron is the first back-to-back winner of the Daytona 500 since Denny Hamlin went back-to-back in 2020.
The New Orleans Saints teamed up with the Louisiana High School Athletic Association to approve the official recognition of girls flag football as a sanctioned high school sport. Over 100 schools in Louisiana are interested in building teams for the sport. The LHSAA was impressed by the demand for girls flag football after the Saints started the push after launching 12 high school teams in Mississippi.
All right, it's now time for Corrali Cast, and I'll try to keep this short because this is just something that I really don't, want to talk about. This NBA All-Star Weekend thing has got to be fixed. I know there's talks of it being $1 million for one-on-one. You got people like Draymond Green and Charles Barkley bickering heads about it like it's, the end of the world. I say you do one of two things. You can either have a USA versus World. I like how $1 million is kind of thrown into the mix. But have a USA versus World thing like the Olympics did in the summer, as that really captivated the whole planet in terms of bringing basketball to a bigger global stage than it already has. Or you do something where you have pretty much just home court in the finals. You go back to an East versus West format, have them play for something. The MLB All-Star Game doesn't play for anything. The Pro Bowl is a joke, so that's just my thoughts on the NBA All-Star Weekend. Have them play for something, and I'm done because we wanted to get to this game that we wanted to play. So let's do Guess the Tweet. It's where we pull up tweets from athletes, and Maddox, it's something where we have, and organizations too, some have gone to whole teams doing this, but we're going to look at tweets. We're not going to know who wrote them or what team wrote them, what social media admin put it out, whatever. And we're going to see if we can guess it live. The couch is involved. Hello, gentlemen. Gage, Stone, Michael, and Blake. They're going to get in on this as well. So let's see tweet number 1 whenever we are ready. Here we go. So, 2007. This has Kevin Durant written all over it. I don't know. 2007 really showed that.
No.
Who would it be then? Which NBA veteran was actively using Twitter in 07?
Organization.
I think it's the Chargers.
Wait, I think
this is the
you might be right about the organization.
That's my first thought.
It is the Chargers. All right.
Look at that.
Look at that. That is fantastic. All right. So we got one down. Way to go, guys. So let's take a look at tweet number 2. Today, the Creed Greatest Hits album was played during the team lift. Today was a good day, May 19th, 2016.
No idea.
Enjoys Creed as much as we do in Franklin Hall.
Yes.
That's a good question.
I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say Creed Humphrey.
That's funny.
That'd be funny.
That is not correct.
That's
I
don't know if
So team lift.
Could it be a team?
I'm thinking baseball.
Would it be like the Cowboys? Because Creed had the halftime show there.
Maybe Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper.
Is it Bryce Harper?
It could be Bryce Harper.
Could it be the two-time National League MVP. It was not Bryce Harper. So
I don't know this.
We got
one.
two
I have
seconds
no
left.
idea.
Let's throw
I
out
don't know
some
this
names.
CMC?
Mike Trout.
What'd you say, Blake?
CMC?
Christian
Christian
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey?
It is
Actually,
not.
No?
We're getting a hint in our ear. Oh, he said never mind.
no.
David, our producer David went in our ear and was like, "I'll give you a hint," and then said, "Oh, never mind."
Nope, never mind.
So we
only got
have
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Tim Tebow.
Tim
Tebow.
It is not Tim Tebow. Who
Joey Bosa.
Loud and
tweeted
correct
that
buzzer.
tweet? Kirk Cousins.
That makes sense.
That's awesome.
That makes a lot of
MVP
sense,
for real, if you
actually.
don't
Oh my gosh. All right, number 3. Number 3 on Guess That Tweet.
We can't see it.
Oh, this is Giannis. I just tasted for the first time a smoothie. Man,
Man,
God bless
God
America.
bless America.
Yeah.
Giannis.
That was funny.
Antetokounmpo.
Less than 4 seconds.
What?
It's not.
Oh, there we
they're
go.
using the
There's
fucking
it.
wrong sound for the tweet. Hello, Giannis.
I wonder what flavor he got.
January of 2014, rookie
good
year.
flavor.
All right, tweet number 4 on Guess the
Final.
Final. The other team scored more
runs
than
than
us.
Oh, that's
Sox.
Chicago. That's got to be the
That's
White
the White
Sox.
Sox.
Yeah. It's last
That's my
year, too.
guess. I remember that
Absolutely
being
horrid.
yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
All right.
Yeah.
In the midst of that losing streak that was unprecedented.
No, they
for-
had some really funny tweets when they started losing.
All right,
A lot
tweet
better than the
number
actual
5.
team.
The last one.
I
Oh
can't.
yeah, Ro, I saved the jet for you. This one came from one
That
of
sounds
our
like-
correspondents, Evan Schofield. David called this an Evan Schofield write-in, and he said it's a major
Oh, so
hit.
so is it
It must be a Steeler. Look at the hat.
Oh, is it George Pickens?
Is it AB?
It's from January
If it's
19th of this year.
Oh, this year?
Russell Wilson?
Is that AB?
Is it AB? That's what I was going to say. It's Antonio Brown.
No, it's
Wow.
T.J. Watt, George Pickens.
Oh,
Pickens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Sorry,
it-
Pickens.
I have no
Joey
clue.
Porter Jr.
That's a good.
Roquan Smith.
Roman Wilson?
Roman
Roman
Wilson.
Dunze? I have no idea. Who's a Steelers?
Just Caleb Williams.
Roquan Smith.
It's not Roquan Smith.
Oh.
Well, no, I'm assuming it's the tweet is about Rowe, so it's someone who's on the team with Rowe. So it's a teammate of whoever Rowe is. Is it Caleb Williams?
Kenny Pickett.
That'd be funny.
That'd be very funny.
That'd be hilarious, actually.
Oh, Patrick Queen.
Patrick
Hey, Ro, I said the jet
And
for you.
that will bring an end to probably my favorite game that we've ever done here. Corner.
Really?
Guess the tweet. That was
Wow.
fun.
Okay.
That was well done.
It was fun.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of Sports Corner. We thank you all so very much for watching.
For updates from us 24/7, head over to KentWire.com and be sure to tune in to Overtime right here every Friday at 7 p.m. I'm Maddox Miller.
And I'm Matt Corrali, saying wherever the ball flies in the air, the Kent Stater Sports Network will be there. Good night.
I got you. Oh, yeah, I got him.
That stupid controller froze again.
You're only saying that because you're losing.
Bet you bought the cheap one.
That controller is junk too. Is this even real?
You're spending less, so
Yeah? We'll just buy it again?
smart kids.
Who are you?
Or what are you?
Hey, I was wondering if you guys wanted any. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's an imposter. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. And that pops.
Could blow up in your face.
That's right, Scruff. Let's take a bite out of crime together and protect ourselves against fakes. Like him.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing an arm.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.